I don't just talk about other people's stuff, I also make my own. Books in particular. To date, I have 4 books you can check out on Amazon. Operation Red Dragon: The Daikaiju Wars Part 1, Occult Mafia, Emerald of Maddox City, and the short story collection Assorted Absurdities, Tales of Kaiju Punk and Other Genres. Hop on down to the description for Amazon links to all 4 books. Enjoy whichever ones you read, and enjoy the video.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Omni viewer, and it seems that the more time passes, the more things that were initially thought impossible by the kaiju community just seem to keep happening. Now, if you've been in the Godzilla fandom for long enough, you've probably come across Bagan at some point. Now, if you're new to the fandom and you have no idea what Bagan is, allow me to explain. Bagan is what you might call the most famous Godzilla kaiju to never appear in a movie. I'm dead serious about this. There were always plans for Bagan to appear in a movie. Initially, he was, I believe, touted as one of the potential opponents that would appear in The Return of Godzilla, back when that was still in very early development and well before it was decided to make that a solo Godzilla movie. Then there were thoughts of maybe bringing Bagan in as a Mothra opponent for a solo Mothra movie. But they've decided not to do any solo Mothra movies until after the Godzilla series had ended in the Heisei era, and even then they still didn't bring Bagan in. However, even though Bagan has never appeared in the movies, he has appeared in other media. In particular, his video game appearances are considered the most well-known, I guess you would say. And even though he never had an official film appearance, as I'm sure you can tell by looking at him, his design did serve as a basis for what would eventually become Destroya. Even so, though, Bagan remains one of those monsters that fans know about, and some fans even consider their favorite, even though he's never actually been in a movie. Well, the wait is finally over. News dropped recently that later this month being January 2023, if you're coming at this later, there's going to be a theatrical GODZILLA event, and attached to that will be a short film of Mothra vs. Bagan, which was originally planned for the early 90s. Now, like I said, it's a short film, it's not going to be feature length, and I couldn't find anything saying whether or not it was going to be live action or animated. My guess, probably going to be a CGI thing, kind of like the recent Godzilla vs. Gigan Rex or Godzilla the Ride things. Whatever the case, it's finally happening. Bagan is finally making his big theatrical debut in Japan. Whether or not this short film will ever find its way over to America or maybe get released online for a global viewing, I don't know at this point. Again, the news just dropped, or at least just made its way over here, so information is sparse. But all the same, the fact that Bagan is appearing at all is big news. Now, could this potentially mean that Bagan will appear in future feature-length Godzilla projects, or maybe just other kaiju projects that Toho produces that might not be Godzilla-related? I don't know. I guess that depends on how well received this short film is. It could just be a one-off, or it could just be they're doing it just to say they did it and they have no intention of ever looking back once it's done. But either way, it's happening. So, like I said, another impossibility checked off the list. Still waiting for that eventual Godzilla and Gamera crossover, but for now, I guess this'll do. That's the big news at the moment, and, well, I'm sure those of you who have been waiting for a long time certainly have thoughts to share about this, so go ahead and share them in the comments. Until such time as we meet again, this is the Omni viewer signing off.
Congratulations, you reached the end. If you enjoyed this video, you might want to consider supporting us on Patreon. Of course, the other way to support us is to go to Amazon and check out our books, Operation Red Dragon: The Daikaiju Wars Part 1, The Occult Mafia, Emerald of Maddox City, and Assorted Absurdities, Tales of Kaiju Punk and Other Genres. Also check the description for links to DeviantArt and other platforms we operate. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.